pieces around him. Either way, that's not fixed in one offseason. The Patriots traded their second-round pick for a receiver. They have an aging roster with a lot of pending free agents. You know they don't overpay in free agency. They're not all of a sudden going to do a huge departure of what they've done in years past, which is, no, win now, we're going to sign guys to bad contracts. So whether it's because Brady is done or the roster stinks, you certainly can't fix the first, and it's not Patriots style to try to fix the second to microwave it. So either way, you're not contending for a Super Bowl in 2020. So what puts you in the best position to compete for a Super Bowl in 21 or 22 or 23? To start the next era of Patriot football as soon as possible. It's a harsh decision, it's a tough decision, but it's the type of decision Canty Belichick has always made. We always say he wants to be a year early rather than a year late. Well, he can't be a year early anymore, but he certainly can be a year or two late if he relents to the pressure from above that I think there will be from Robert Kraft to give a quarterback that after week three, was a bottom six in all statistical categories quarterback in this league, $25 to $30 million a year starting next season, which is reportedly what Tom Brady's going to be asking for.
Well, we know there's going to be pressure from above because if Bill Belichick had his way, then Jimmy Garoppolo wouldn't be playing for the 49ers. Yep. He'd be the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots, and that Tom Brady chapter of Patriots football would already be closed. But, I mean, Tom Brady at this stage, he wants to be respected, which is why I think he has that clause in his current contract that doesn't allow the Patriots to franchise him. The way you show a player that you respect his ability is how you pay him. And Tom Brady, for the better part of this decade, has been on an under-market deal at his position. So at this stage, it's about trying to get what he deserves. But I don't think Bill Belichick is in a hurry to pay Tom Brady market value, especially the way that offense looks this past year. Now, you mentioned all of the potential losses that they have or the decline in personnel at the skill positions. You also got to consider potentially losing Josh McDaniels, who's been Tom Brady's coordinator for all but 2 of his years in New England. So I think that could be potentially a big loss if he decides to take over the job with the Cleveland Browns. So for all of those different reasons, it seems like it will point to Tom Brady being out the door. But I don't know who the Patriots' alternative is at the quarterback position. Who's going to be the successor for Tom Brady? Is it going to be Jarrett Stidham? I mean, he sure didn't look ready when he played in spot duty in the regular season. So that's my only question about Tom Brady and whether or not the Patriots are going to run it back with him. Who's going to be his replacement? I mean, you do have some young quarterbacks that will be on the free agent market. Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, Ryan Tannehill, Teddy Bridgewater. We'll see if Bill Belichick is infatuated with any of them, but ultimately, I think Tom Brady is the guy that probably gives you the best chance to compete to win the division next year. But I think the Patriots do have to address the quarterback position in a real way this offseason. I just don't think it'll mean that Tom Brady is out the door.
Quickly, one of the things we haven't really been talking about is how tied in Tom Brady is to Josh McDaniels and how if Josh stays, does that help Tom Brady maybe come back? It's hard to, after 20 years, to go to a new team, a new offense, new personnel, new everything. Well, you wonder how close the two of them are.
So I think it's a really good point, and I actually talked to Joe Theismann about this recently, and Joe said, you think Brady wants to spend his offseason learning a new system, learning new personnel, learning these new things? He's like, no, he wants to go on vacation. He wants to spend time with his family. But if Josh McDaniels leaves, you're learning a new-ish system either way. You're learning, I'm sure they will implement a lot of the same things, and Brady's not going to follow him to Cleveland, obviously. Now, if the Chargers were to force out Anthony Lynn in order to get a Brady-McDaniels package deal, and by the way, I bet they would do that, even though I think Anthony Lynn's a good coach, I do think Josh McDaniels leaving weighs more on the side of Brady also saying, I want to leave myself. But the point you make, Canty, is a good one, and it's one that I hear all the time, which is, who is his replacement? This is not a Montana to Young, a Favre to Rodgers, a Manning to Luck situation. And I agree with that 1,000%. And I don't know who his replacement is. What I do know is, when the Patriots declined to give him a contract extension, they knew who was on their roster. They knew it was Jarrett Stidham and nobody else. They also knew who the pending free agents were. When they could have made this a non-issue a year ago, Bill Belichick, looking at his roster and looking at the pending free agent crop, said, I don't want to give you a contract extension. So why would that have changed? Why would his feeling on that have changed when Brady just played the worst year of his career and the team, success-wise, had the worst year it's had in a decade? It's not like all of a sudden, when they wouldn't give him a contract extension, they had Jimmy G. They traded him a couple years ago. It's not like they thought we have this great young quarterback, but he blew out his knee in week 9. Now he might not be ready to start the season. They knew what time it was when they refused to give Brady a contract extension in August. So I don't know how much that affects their decision.